Hello, in this presentation I'm going to be looking at Tiger in the Menagerie by Emma Jones. Emma Jones is a young Australian poet. She was born to a British mother and an Australian father and educated in Sydney. After getting a degree in English, Emma Jones moved to the University of Cambridge where she received a PhD. Her first volume of poetry had the distinction of being published by the famous publishers Faber. Let's take a look at the poem. No one could say how the tiger got into the menagerie. It was too flash, too blue, too much like the painting of a tiger. So what does this suggest about the tiger? Well, it suggests that the tiger is stealthy. His presence is a mystery. Maybe this gives us the idea that the tiger is going to be a symbol for something in particular in the poem. A menagerie is a collection of wild animals kept in captivity for exhibition, but it can also be used more widely to refer to a diverse collection of people or things. What about this repetition of two? Well, the repetition of two suggests an excess. There's something of an unreal quality to the tiger, too flash, too blue, too much like the painting of a tiger rather than a real tiger. What about the adjectives describing the tiger itself, flash and blue? Well, this suggests the tiger's appearance is too vibrant to be real, and the colour blue is unexpected, though you might like to look up the Maltese tiger. And the fact that we've got this simile, like the painting of a tiger, gives further credence to the reading that the tiger is actually a representation of something else. At night, the bars of the cage and the stripes of the tiger looked into each other so long that when it was time for his eyes to rock shut, read on in just a moment. So the bars of the cage and the stripes of the tiger seem to be mimicking each other, merging into each other. And the effect of this personification of the bars looking back at the tiger. While the bars and the tiger's stripes are treated as separate, conscious entities, both the tiger and the bars, that nevertheless recognize a commonality, a similarity between them, the stripes on the tiger being similar to the bars of the cage. And the significance of these eyes rocking shut, whether in death or in sleep, more likely this signifies a loss of consciousness, of awareness of one's distinct individuality, and the use of the verb rock suggests that this is a sedate and gentle process, that the tiger is losing its sense of identity, is becoming one, if you like, with the bars of its cage. The bars were the lashes of the stripes were the lashes of the bars. So as you can see, the picture helps a little here with the shadow of the stripes. The two seem to merge. Their separation as two separate entities seems to be an illusion. And they walked together in their dreams so long through the long colonnade that shed its fretwork to the Indian main. So who are the they and what has happened to their dreams? Well, the they now seems to refer to the tiger's stripes and the bars of the cage, somehow sharing this dream. Travelling through the long colonnade. What might this colonnade be compared to? Well, the colonnade may offer another echo of the pattern of the tiger's stripes or the bars of the cage, his columns repeating the striped pattern. This shedding of fretwork is an unusual use of the verb. Shedding of the fretwork might represent a more open, but still slightly obstructive barrier that's gradually degrading or being broken down. And the fact that they're travelling towards the Indian Main, well, the Indian Main might represent the movement and flux that we've unsuccessfully attempted to classify and separate in terms of the movement of the sea, makeup of the sea. When the sun rose, they'd gone, and the tiger was one clear orange eye that walked into the menagerie. Maybe again the picture image I've selected might help here. We've got this comparison, the imagery of the sun and the tiger's eye. So like the stripes of the tiger and the bars of the cage, now the tiger's eye and the sun seem to be blending into one, losing their distinction from one another. No one could say how the tiger got out in the menagerie. It was too bright, too bare. If the menagerie could, it would say tiger. So again, here we've got a sense of mystery regarding where this tiger came from, where it's going to. The tiger is something that is defying explanation, it's defying classification. And this symbol is different in some way. It's unsettling. The tiger's left this definition provided by its captivity. And again, too bright, too bare. And the effect of this description is to cause ambiguity. Did the adjectives refer to the tiger? Did they refer to the menagerie? Or do they refer to both? Unable to contain the concept of the tiger or any other meaning, has the tiger consumed everything else in the menagerie? Is the tiger a symbol of something that is inexplicable, and so its existence actually disrupts our whole web of meaning, our ability to make distinctions between one thing and another? Without order and classification, the menagerie faces oblivion. So if the menagerie could, it would say tiger. In other words, if the menagerie could somehow recapture the concept of the tiger by naming it, by containing it, it would. But the implication being made here is that it cannot. If the aviary could, it would lock its door. Its heart began to beat in rows of rising birds when the tiger came inside to wait. So here we have a distinction, a difference between the aviary and a menagerie. And we wonder if maybe this is significant. Well, an aviary specifically is an enclosure for keeping birds in. So do the birds perhaps give us a symbol of a greater degree of freedom than the menagerie? Why would the aviary then lock its door to the tiger? Well, again, although there might be a difference in terms of greater freedom that flight allows the birds in the aviary, they're still contained and distinguished and classified, and as such the tiger is still seen as a threat to the safety and the integrity of the aviary. A metaphor, its heart, is obviously personification as well, of the aviary being thought of as an actual entity. The meaning of the metaphor here in the alliteration, what's being done here? Its heart began to beat in rows of rising birds. Well, this metaphor works well in creating a visual image of a startled flurry of activity, as you can see in the GIF here. Perhaps the alliteration of echoing the tiger's growls, the increase of the heartbeat is reflected in the beating wings of the birds. Final line here, when the tiger came inside to wait, we may question, what is the tiger waiting for? Well, this is difficult to answer, but the poem certainly ends with a lingering sense of menace. The tiger seems to be waiting, we might assume, for the opportunity to consume the occupants of the aviary or dissolve its system of classification, as we saw previously with the Menagerie. All in all, Jones has created an enigmatic poem where the symbol of the tiger is inscrutable and noble and calls into question the faith in which we try to attribute meaning to the world around us by classifying things in their distinction from one to another.